Guess what? It's another West London Wednesday. Race 6.3, Windsor-Eton-Bray, which is WEB, the web race, we call it. 15.7 kilometres, just 300 metres short of our usual targeted distance. The elevation just 20 metres, which means it's pretty flat. This course actually runs pretty much alongside the River Thames in a valley, and hence it is very flat. It is consequently very, very fast. And we've used this course several times. Now, unwittingly, it does actually include a Strava KOM at about 6.4 kilometres. So if you see anybody absolutely tearing off the front at 6.4 kilometres for about 2 kilometres, they are probably aware that there's a Strava segment in this that you can go for. Now, if you look at the Strava segment, and details are published, you'll notice that nearly everybody on it has ridden one of these races. All the best times were set in these races. Let's have a look at the classifications. Matt Hammond leads the general classification ahead of Marianne Marasak. Doug Hart from Pedlars in third. Nick Greenouch, former champion, and another former champion, Ned Bowen, following. Jan Varner, John Samet from Poker Motion, Saad Carradine, No Pins 3R. They've got a strong team in this. Wouter Clay's big champion for us. Kamil Walagora, James Melville from Glasgow United, and Rob Miller from 3R in making up the general classification. Quick flick over to the other side of the screen on your right. Judith Newton currently heads the Ladies League, but only by 2 points from Caroline Reuter. Holly Larson is in third, Laura Whittingham fourth, Wendy Wonderwheels from Down Under in Australia fifth, Daniel Gorn and Christina Vitsky making up the top 7. This is going to be interesting this year. RIAC and West London both having strong squads in the Ladies League, and I think that's going to be where it's battled. But don't discount Twickenham. If they can get all their riders out, they could put up a good showing too. And I think Lisa West is in today, so let's have a look out for them. Lisa currently in 9th. 10th, Linda Van Dyke as well from Down Under. So, teams-wise, Ratio Racing not far ahead of No Pins 3R, but Ratio have got, if you look over the general classification, first, second and fourth are all Ratio riders. So they are riding really strong this year. I think No Pins are going to give a run for their money. And look at Moon Riders, strong as ever. And 3R's other team, fifth, just behind Glasgow United. Glasgow United only run 2 riders most of the time. They're 2 very strong riders, and Alistair McAlpine and, of course, James. So it's Pedlars in 6th, actually. Doug Hart in there. So don't discount them. And Ratio's second team down in 7th. It's James Melville, in Glasgow United. I think that's why I said that. But James Melville and Alistair McAlpine. Correcting myself. Ladies teams, as I said, down at the bottom. RIAC Women and West London PR Ladies team. So let's go over and have a look at what's happening at the start line at the moment. Well over 160 sign-ups. 121 riders online at the moment. So that's not a bad starting point. We look for, it's down at 120 now. So somebody's obviously done something wrong, forgotten their water bottle, or got a little bit of a technical and dropped out. But 17 seconds to go. Everybody's going to start pedaling very, very hard. As I said, this is going to be a fast race. Look out for 6.4k, because there might be a spurt off the front as people go for that KOM on Strava. Counting down now. 4, 3, 2, 1. You expect a big surge here. Off they go, riding out along the Thames Valley. And it's exceptionally fast as well. As they... And you get this little sort of break-up at the moment. Jan Varner pushing it for No Pins 3R. Tim Cook from New Zealand just behind him. And as you can see, what happens in these early stages, everybody actually... see Stuart Gillies from Twickenham up there. That's great to see. King Tubby, one of my favourite names in the whole of this. King Tubby, if you don't know, is a famous reggae producer from Jamaica, of course. This is a different King Tubby. Coming from down under, as you can see by the flag. Now, you can see this group have broken away already, and this is what happens. You will get a big split early on, and maybe a few are going to catch up here. Maybe that gap is closing. But this is the whole idea. You get off the front as quick as you possibly can, and you get a breakaway, so you've dropped half the people out of the race. Now, we don't mind this, because what happens is you get a sub-race, and rather than having categorised racers, This is what we call natural selection. Now, inevitably, some of these people who managed to get themselves in the fast group early on will actually find that they can't quite hold it and they'll drop back to the other group. And by natural selection throughout the race, you should find that most people are in the right group for them and can enjoy a good sprint finish amongst peers, really. So that's why we like it. That's why we run it. And equally, we've got the Ladies League in here as well. And the ladies, they're intermingled in the race. And how many points they get will depend on where they finish in the race and also relative to where they finish amongst the other ladies. If we look further back here at some of these riders that have already split into little groups, and what they should do best is to get into little groups like this, work together. Some of these groups will merge, some people will drop off. As I say, this is a natural selection phenomena here, and we like it, and we think the people who do it like it. I think Jose Espinosa down at the back, Dave, I can't remember his name now, but he's got a great name on Strava as well. The Scottish guy at 92. Who else have we got there? Miller, Claire Miller from Twickenham CC. Haven't seen Claire riding for a while, so that's good to see Claire back in the mix. 96, 96. Looking at there, Roy Shields in there as well. This is Claire Miller from Twickenham in that dark blue Twickenham strip. Great club from Southwest London. Southwest London does seem overloaded with great cycling clubs, and Twickenham's certainly one of them. And it's a great place to be for if you are a cyclist, because access to the Surrey Hills down there as well. As you see this little group. Now this Claire's gone off the front. Now this may or may not be. I think this is going to close up and should do well to sit in that group and take the draft. The draft is very, very effective on RGT. Now look at this, Jose Espinosa in there is in Westerly Kit. Daniel Gaunt as well. Jose from Puerto Rico, Daniel from Derbyshire, I think, is, and I see Mendes in there for the ladies as well. So that's a couple of ladies in this group. Who else might be in there that we can pick out? Daniel Gaunt, as we've said. Lisa West in there for Twickenham as well. So 3 ladies in this group. So this could produce a great ladies league sprint finish towards the end. At 2.13 kilometres into the race. This is these guys. The guys at the front will be further ahead. Lisa West, lovely lady. Her other half is the president of Twickenham Cycling Club, as it happens. Gail Robinson just ahead, another Twickenham rider as well. I'm surprised they're not riding together, or maybe Gail's going for it. Gail is a former champion of this and has, I think she's had a bit of a summer off. But I think when she gets back into form across the winter, we can expect to see great things from Gail as well. So we're looking at the front group now. I see John. Sorry, what am I trying to see in there? No, that's not the front group, is it? Maybe it is. Yes, it is. James Melville, whose name I got wrong. John Sammer in there. Will Brown for Westerly, I see in there. And Soderbergh going off the front. Doug Hart in there, picking out the big names. Matt Hammond in there. Sam Ways, Alistair McAlpine, Jan Varner, Gower, Nick Greenhalgh in there as well. Also, names you'd expect to see in this front group now. And it's pretty much as a peloton. But expect this group to sort of have some pushes off the front. 3.5 kilometres into this race, there's 11 bit left. You see one of these pushes off the front. James Millville, famous for this. He does it all the time. I see Simon Miller in there for Watford, which is... oh no, sorry, it's Simon Miller from... Simon Miller from Southborough District Wheelers. How could I get Simon wrong? Sorry. Simon, of course, I know very, very well, runs a lot of events for Southborough District Wheelers down there in Tunbridge Wells in Kent. They have a marvellous cycling festival in the summer, well worth a visit, so make sure you get down there if you can. As I say, Southborough District Wheelers is one of our favourite clubs down there in Kent in South East England. And who else we've got there? Marcin Marasek, as we said, Bardgour, Summer, I think Matthias Bergqvist in there in his riding as well. Ben Phillips, I see. Tubby, as we mentioned before. Samways for Watford. Now, this is a great little... I think this is where I got confused with Simon, because Simon Hall rides for Watford, and I think I was looking at the Watford rider and reading out Simon Miller's name, but Simon Hall, of course, is a Watford rider that I know. This is great, though, John Samways, pushing away for Watford Velo, and he's got a nice little gap of 16 metres ahead of Ben Phillips. Ben Phillips pushing the Welshman. The Welshman is catching up. Here's... Soderbergh and Doug Hart. Now, Doug Hart likes to stretch on the front. He's holding that gap, but holding it is not. He can't hold that till the end of the race. That is far too far to go. So I think we're going to have to accept that gap's going to close. Maybe they're letting him hang out there to dry. Stevie Cooper in there. I said earlier that Glasgow United have two riders. They actually have three. Stevie Cooper doesn't ride every race, but I see he's in there in the front group. And you can see on your shot there, if you look towards the left, there are three riders in amongst the pack with white and red. It's a sort of white jersey with a red stripe down the middle. Those are your Glasgow United riders. So Aston McAlpine. Now Doug Hart off the front, like we said. Simon Miller for Southwood District Wheelers in there as well. Ostrison and the Norwegian pushing. There is a little bit of a gap here, but I don't think this is meant to be a breakaway. This will be, I think, just to string the field out, see if they can drop some people off the pack as Samways for Watford goes again. However, do bear in mind, we're 1 kilometre away from that Strava segment. I have no idea whether anybody is going for this Strava segment or they're not. We shall see. We shall see. Doug Hart, as ever, what a character, eh? Going off the front. As I say, this is stretching the pack, which I think is what it's designed to do. Andrei Krzyzewski in there for Rassio. I see Walter Clay's in there, as you'd expect. I haven't seen Ned Bowen yet, but I would be surprised if he wasn't in there. And you see that, it's just difficult to stay on the back. There's Southborough Wheelers rider right on the back there. I'm assuming that's Simon, so hopefully he's caught back on. Andrew Krzyzewski, Poe from Manchester, out in first for Rassio Racing at the moment. Really, no pins 3R. They are strong. That distinctive blue and, well, I say sort of pastel blue and pink kit sitting on the wheel of Andre, maybe taking a turn on the front and maybe going to work with Andre on this one. It's Brearley this time for 3R no pin. Strong team, as I say. Krzyzewski just about keeping on the wheel, but I think Wouter Clays is bridging the gap, is he? No, Brearley's actually pulling away, so there's not... I see Louis Francis in there for Watford as well, so they've got a strong presence on the front with Samways and Louis Francis as well. That's a good showing from Watford, another strong local club for us. You can see absolutely nobody near this front group, so the winner is going to come out of this group. Remember, this is a flat race, and we are getting ever closer to the KOM. So let's see what happens there. 6.4, we're just into it. Really going for it. Maybe he is going for the KOM on this. We're into the KOM. We're doing 40.7 kph. I don't know what you've got to do to beat this, beat the current standing. Nick Greenhalgh amongst four other riders holds the current KOM, and this is... Oh, they're all going for it now. Will it go above 40? Yes. It's gone right up to 48. Doug Hart going for it now. Can Doug Hart do the KOM? I've no idea. You're going to have to look on Strava afterwards, so I can't tell you when he finishes it. But we're about 400 metres in. It's just under 2 kilometres long. Doug Hart absolutely streaming ahead. This could be a new KOM as he slows down a little bit. That automatic braking on RGT, taking him around the bend, but it's still 44.5, and it's 7 kilometres now. It's done 400 metres. He's getting caught. He needs to stay on the wheel. It's Nick Greenhalgh now going for it. Nick Greenhalgh is current holder of the KOM. Nick Greenhalgh wants to hold it. I know he does. He was telling me during the week that his real life experience along this grid to grid section is 2 seconds slower. And I joked that it must be the cattle grid on the way into it, because it goes from a cattle grid to a cattle grid. That's how it's marked. 7.4, we're probably not quite there yet. And it's Matt Hammond, 3R no pins now going for it. We're going to have to look at Strava afterwards, I'm afraid. But it's grid to grid, and it's the virtual version. There is a real life version and there's a virtual version of this KOM. So make sure you look at the virtual one, and you'll probably see that everybody in the top 50 bar about 2, as we go through the halfway stage, everybody in the top 50 bar about 2 rode it on January, and I think May. And today you'll probably find nearly all the top 50 is made up of riders from one of our races on here. And it's James Melville going off the front now. It's probably not 2 kilometres actually. It's probably about more like a kilometre, maybe just over a kilometre. So we're probably through it now. We'll have to see anyway. I don't have the Strava KOM details because I don't actually run it. I never set it up or anything else like this. But this group seems to have struck together over what is Dorney Common. The grid to grid is Dorney Common. We're heading towards Bray now. Bray is famous for a number of reasons, at least in sort of, I suppose, local South English legends, not least because I think it's the only village anywhere that's got two 3-starred Michelin restaurants. It was always famous. It was always famous for some of the celebrities, or should I say, British celebrities, not known outside, who lived in and around that area. Not least because Michael Parkinson used to get Yorkshire Cricket Club to come down and play the village team once a year, and people outside the UK may not understand how big a cricket club Yorkshire Cricket Club are, but it was no mean feat. And it is, of course, a pretty little village. There's an artist who's famed around there, but I couldn't actually put his name. Will Brown going off the front, actually. Will from Ealing in the westerly purple there, running very strongly these days. Actually, when I first met Will a few years ago, he used to on and off the bike with some various injuries and strains, but he seems to put those behind him. It's barred now for no pins 3R in that distinctive kit, that sort of 2 blues and a pink sort of mix, and you can see that standing out quite nicely within the crowd. Actually, I wonder if No Pins themselves designed it. As one of the Ratio riders goes off the front now, 9 kilometres in. This is fast. Just look at those speeds. 47 kph. It's Nick Greenhalgh. And on the rest of Ben Phillips taking over, another Ratio rider. This is one of those little stretch points. We've got 5 kilometres to go, and John Samways now. I'm not sure it's John Samways, actually. I'm mixing it up with John Samat, aren't I? But Samways for Watford there, Doug Hartford. Look at this. This is a proper stretch. This is what happens. This is tactical. Nobody's expecting to get off the front, but they are trying to thin down the bunch sprint. We go round this bend now. As I say, we're probably hitting Bray now, and we're looking like we might be losing a couple of riders off the back here. If this is sustained for much longer, I think 2 riders off the back are not going to make that. The gap is widening. They are off the back. One of them having a big go to bridge that gap. They're going to do it. That is too big, and it's getting bigger. So 2 riders were displaced off the back from that push, and this is why the riders on the front do it. It narrows down the sprint. Kennedy and Van der Leep there from Norway are the victims of that, 49th and 48th respectively. So going further back, King Tubby doing a bit of roots and culture here in 50th place. Nice to see him in that resplendent kit. I do like that kit, actually, I have to say. Stuart Gillies from Twickenham CC in the next strip. David Buckley I see in there for Westerly. The green and white strip is, of course, Moon Riders. And who else have we got in the strip? West London rider. Oh, it's Stuart Thorne, my old mate Stuart Thorne coming up. Judith Newton in there. Oh, wow, that's rather good. Judith's currently leading the Ladies' League, and at 58th, she might just be in a good position to win this one as well. She won last time out. Caroline Reuter is her rival. I'm not sure if Caroline's in the mix tonight. Bear in mind that the Ladies' League is about your best 6 results, so Caroline can afford to miss a race, but if Judith keeps on getting 100 points in each of these, when Caroline does turn up, she needs to get 100 points to match it. So there's 13 races in the series, and that's how it pans out. So Michael with Belgian flag, I don't know his second name. Byron Harding for OTR, on the rivet that stands for. For years I thought OTR, because James Ogilvie organises so much of it, I thought the O was for Ogilvie. And then one day James said, oh no, it's on the rivet. So it's a great name, isn't it? Gower for Twickenham up there as well. They're putting in a good show. Twickenham putting out some a strong team this time out, and that is good. I mean, they have shown strongly in past series. They missed out a bit in the summer, but nice to see them coming back in numbers here today. I see Ray Wilson in there for 3R, no pins 3R as well. My immediate thought, Ray Wilson, for anybody who's old enough, I think played at right back for England in the 1966 World Cup final. I'm pretty sure that it's not the same Ray Wilson, former Everton fullback. It's Nick Greenhalgh off the front at the moment. It's on Samat. A few of these digs off the front as well. Yuri, Bard, Hart, Samways, all in there. Jan Aron in there as well, the Swede. It's chopping and changing a little bit, but Yuri for Ratio Racing, they really have got a strong presence, and they are leading the teams at the moment. 3.68. This is beginning to get into the decisive stage, and this is two breaking away. I don't think they can break away over 3.5 kilometres, but again, it's one of those digs that might do a little bit of damage off the back at 44 kph. The average speed over this course should be pretty decent, and I'm sure most of the top riders, certainly anybody in this group, should get over 40 kph as their average speed, subject to dropping off the back. And we see another one in a little bit of trouble, although I think they're closing the gap. They're going to get back on by the looks of it. This is a tremendous effort to get on the back though, and what it does do, you've got to bear in mind that if you're catching up on the back, you're riding faster than the guy on the front. So that means you're expending a huge amount of effort just to stay on there. I think it looks like a Southby jersey at the back there. Julian Fussell, we haven't mentioned him up there in that group. Oh no, sorry, it's the second group, isn't it? Julian Fussell, 52nd. He's in a group with Mike Adair, I see in there. Mark Morris, Judith Newton's still in there, and names keep chopping about trying to get them all in there. Marcin Schuderek from Rostov, Healy in there, Jones, Mike Addy, as I said, and some familiar names in there. This is a nice little group, and this should produce a good little sprint with 2.7 to go. Back on the front though, this is the business end of the race. Doug Hart for Pedlars now giving another push. This is still a big group though. Without the climbs, the only place you can drop people is by these little spurts off the front that the strong riders do to try and thin it out. But on a flat course like this, you don't thin it out much. This is a large group. This is going to be a bit of a sprint finish, and I'm not going to say it's a lottery because a lot of it is down to your tactics in a sprint finish. But some of the best riders in the series can find themselves, finishing 25th in a bunch sprint by a split second, whereas on a hilly course they would have been in a smaller group and maybe got 5th or 6th, and they can drop points to their rivals. And you can see No Pins putting a concerted effort on the front now. Bard now pushing it with 2 kilometres to go, just over. I see Richard Ackers in there. REAC on your screen is in there. Richard runs some great training sessions on RGT, and look out for those. He's looking after the REAC women's team as well, and they are in strong contentions for the Ladies League. No Pins 3R putting on the pressure on the front with Bard, and we've got Sesson in there as well. Wouter Clay's in the group. The names you'd expect to see, Walligora as well. That group's still looking sizable as we head towards the final stages. We twist back a little bit towards the River Thames, and it's Bard still off the front, putting in a supreme effort. I don't think it's going to drop anybody off the front, and I don't think he can hold that for another 1.5 kilometres to the finish. So this is going to be this bunch sprint we expect. I expect Louis Francis in there for Watford Phalo, Sesson, Will Brown in there for Wesley, Wouter Clays, Matthias Bergqvist, all in there. Then let's play Paul Hinton in there, we haven't mentioned as well. And it's still holding this 1.26, but I think they'll ramp it up just behind him as we go. Simon Miller in there for Southborough still. Sam Ways for Watford. And somebody's going now for. This is where the catch-up starts. You can see that spreading. The group behind now, those who are probably right on the edge now and can't do the sprint, are going to get left behind. It's Lewis Francis for Watford Phalo. This is a great spurt, but it's still a kilometre to go. This is going to be hard to hold, but it's certainly going to have an impact. Those who've been holding on now can't take the extra pace, and you can see them dropping off the back. Sometimes it's hard work staying up with these fast riders. Just see how that is stretching that peloton. It's under a kilometre to go. Will Brown in there, Simon Miller in there, Sam Ways still in there. It's stretching though. The Burley for No Pins 3R is doing a strong. Tim Cook in there as well. Louis Francis is way off now. 16 metres off the main pack, but I don't think it's over 400. This is where it gets ramped up, and you can see in there the sprinters now weighing it up. Are they going to reel him in with 290 to go? It's all about timing. Doug Hart has got a bit of effort in there, and Doug can pull away, but it's Walligora now for Moon Riders, who's taking it away. He's being chased by Sesson for ADR, and just behind them we've got Ned Bowen, the king of the sprinters. Will they hold it on? Sesson just takes it on the line for Walligora. Yuri and Ned Bowen and Nick Greenhouse 4th, 5th, Wouter Clays in 6th, the big names. Tim Cook 7th, Vanna 8th. That was That was a classic sprint, but Sesson just holding on there as we go back to the next group, and then we can expect a good sprint on here. I see Stuart Thorne in there for West London, David Buckley for Westerly, Mike Addy in there, Stuart Gillies for Twickenham, and Judith Newton still in there. This is tremendous from Judith. I don't know whether she'll contest the sprint or she won't, but every male you beat gets you an extra point in the ladies championship with 500 metres to go. If Daniel can hold on to the sprint, and it's going now, and she's standing up in the pedals, I don't think she's going to quite make that. Mike Addy just chasing back on. Judith's on there, she's on Mike Addy's wheel. She can get into this group if she can just pinch a few places. This will be good points for her in the ladies league. Stuart Gillies in the yellow and blue, but Twickenham is going out on the front now. Is Stuart Gillies going to do it? He certainly looks like he's got it in him. 200 metres to go though. A couple of followers. He might get picked on the line yet. You can see the finishing line coming up. Julian Fussell in there for Southport District Wheelers. Mike Adair as well. King Tubby. Tim Cummins and Stuart Thorne all in there as they cross the line. I think he might have just held on. Gillies and Thorne taking that sprint. Well done, two Stuarts actually. Julian Fussell third in that sprint. So it's just as exciting for the back. Gautam Thakkar in here in the West London kit with Ian Suttersby and Stevens. They've got 600 metres to go. A couple have been dropped off the back, Vesta and Healy. And so I think this is going to be less of a sprint because this is already shedding a couple of riders just before they get there at 75th place. And can't quite see who's going to finish this one first. I think it is going to be, just having a look now, I think Gautam Thakkar is just behind D. Stewart, so I think it's going to be Stuart Thakkar by the look of it, but there's still 300 metres to go. I think maybe Gautam's just taken that head. As we come to the line, Gautam actually at the back of that, Berthold taking the sprint by the looks of it, and with the Austrian flag there, and Gautam just dropping off at the back, so not in his best form. He's obviously saving it for the time trials later in the week. The OTR Love TTT trials. Best for coming in. Oh, Caroline Reuter is in there. We just see Caroline Reuter coming in 77. So it looks as if Judith Newton took the points again in the ladies' league, and the gap might have been big enough to earn a few extra points in there. Brett Smith in the West London jersey we see there, and the Serena Race for Riak at 84th. Another one of the lady riders, and Juncker in there. Roy Shields as well, I see coming in there. Now this is looking a little bit like it's not going to be the tightest of sprints. 270 metres to go in this particular one, and it's tightening up. And Toto Kalonda, the Frenchman there, is all. Let's see who's going to take. It's Smits, Harry Smits in there, the Dutchman, Roy Shields, Alve, the Portuguese, Pastel, and Gilmore all in there, and that was another good one, wasn't it? And this is what we mean by this natural selection, where riders find themselves in sprint with sprints with similar riders, and sometimes the groups are a little small like this, but you actually make new friends riding in little groups of three and working together, and you're just having a little bit of fun at the end. In this case, it looks like Alan's having the fun to race him for 93rd position. 500 metres to go, making a clear gap now, 6 metres back to Sullivan and Sanchez, although they're not giving up, are they? And maybe he went a little bit too soon and they're going to glide past him, or can they? Is he going to sit on their wheels as he goes past them? And if it was me, I would probably just try and sit on their wheel now, let them do the work and see if you can just nudge them on the line. But the three now side by side, 360 metres to go. It's anybody's guess. You can't tell from the body language, partly because they're avatars and partly because they're riding side by side. You can often tell, obviously you're never going to get the body language, but obviously you can tell sometimes when somebody's sitting behind, you can sort of gauge whether or not they've got it in them. And you can see here, for example, when Sullivan goes, you can see that Sanchez just didn't have it in him. Alan sat on the wheel and takes him on the line, so Sullivan went a little bit too early. But you learn from all of this and you learn how to do it better. Sanchez taking third out of that group. And we have another bunch coming in here with another great bunch sprint that they'll all thoroughly enjoy themselves. And we're down to 99th 100th was low. Wendy Wonderwheels. Maria Witsky from Puerto Rico coming next, 103rd, riding in the West London colours, despite living in Puerto Rico. She looks like she's quite clear of Lisa West, which she'll be pleased with. Her other half, who say Espinosa, in 105th, so she's beaten her other half as well. And Lisa West coming next for Twickenham CC. Lisa has been very integral into helping us get the Ladies League going over the last few seasons. She does a lot for Twickenham Cycling Club and certainly got a lot of ladies there to take part, which helped us get it off the ground in the first place. So a great contribution from Twickenham and particularly Lisa West vis-a-vis the Ladies League, and we shall always be grateful for Lisa's contribution to this. She rolls in 104, quite respectable with plenty of riders behind her, of course. So we shall see. Mendes, Lanahan, Toll, Wendy Wonderwheels at 109th, still to come in, 500 metres or 470 metres to go. So there we are. Well done, Lisa. Great finish. And I think you're going to have to go on the www.westlondoncycling.com at the end to get the results. We gather there is some difficulty with the results coming through. These are on platforms we don't control, so we are in the hands of other people here. So we're not going to have a results service straight away for you. Sorry about that. That's well out of our control. But if you go on to westlondoncycling.com, you will find there is a results page there, and they should be up to date. We make no promises because again we are reliant on third parties, and to a certain extent as Linda van Dijk comes in 100, Smith and Judy Frankel there, Gail Robinson from Twickenham CC, just beating a couple of other riders there, one of them Jessica Wright. I'm delighted to see Jessica Wright was riding because she wasn't sure earlier today whether she felt well enough to do it, so that's great. Con coming in with the Japanese flag there, just ahead of ML1. Some of the race results coming up there, just to show you. Kong 116th, Egar B, LHB, and so on and so forth, all coming in there at the end. So I think we're probably at the end of the race. As I say, the results are on your screen, so you can actually see we are whizzing through them. I suspect the best thing you can do is go back onto this and have a look at the results by holding the pause screen. So the live screen will be available on our Facebook page afterwards. So if you go back in and run the race and just have a look at these. The Cesson from ADR beating Molagora and Yodery, Ned Bowen, Nick Greenhouse, Wouter Clays, Tim Cook, Yang Varna, Ray Wilson in his debut race, a splendid 9th for No Pins 3R. And as I say, if you press the pause button, you can look at all these in your own time. Samways for Watford coming in 10th after that massive pull on the front. Michael the Belgium beating Doug Hart again, plenty of work on the front. Marcin Marasek 13th. Gower for Twickenham, splendid at 14th. Aaron the Swede at 15th. James Melville all the way back at 16th alongside John Sammer at 16th. Matt Looker from No Pins 3R 18th. Matthias Bergqvist, the former podium winner in these series, 19th. CE 20th. Dobson is 21st, and that's probably a little bit further back than he'd want, the South District Wheelers rider. Simons 22nd, German. Andrei Krajewski, I'd say Kester Dobson will probably be a little bit disappointed with that, but still a respectable in a fast race like this. I think Kester will be reasonably happy there. Simons, Andrei Krajewski, Matt Hammond at 24th for No Pins. Soderberg at the Swede at 25th. Richard Ackers 26th for REAC. Rob Miller for the American 27th. Louis Francis, some great work on the front at 28th. Will Brown will be delighted with 29th for Westerly there. Elbard at 30th. Schmidt at 31st. Ben Phillips, the Welshman, 32nd. Paul Hinson, 33rd. Alistair McAlpine all the way back at 34th. Be a little bit disappointed with that, but it was a sprint. Jan van Beurs at 35th, and Lambourne 36th. Stevie Cooper 37th, the other Glasgow United rider. Andrew Beale will be delighted with 38th. Thomas 39th, and Oysterson at 40th. Brearley 41, and Simon Miller 42nd for Southborough District Wheelers there. Byron Harding for OTR at 43rd. Simon Hall Watford, who I mentioned earlier and messed up all the names with at 44th. So delighted for you, Simon, at 44th. N van der Haar at 45th. Jan van Beur at 46th. Mike Wareham 47th. Mike Addy 48th. King Tubby at 49th. Stuart Gillies for Twickenham at 50th. So a decent setup. Stuart Thorne, friend of mine, at 51st, just beating another friend of mine, Julian Fussell from Southborough District Wheelers at 52nd. Hansen, the Dane, at 53rd. Kennedy 54. Marcin Schuler from Roslov at 55th. Anne van der Lee at 56th. Tim Cummins 57th, just ahead of David Buckley, his teammate at Westley, at 57th and 58th. Andy 59th. Horton at 60. Jones 61. Daniel 62. Briggs 63. Judith Newton, I think probably the First Lady. I need to double check that, but I think possibly the First Lady at 64. Morris 65th. Tobias Bjork at 66th. Berthold, the Austrian, at 67th. Stewart, good Scottish name, 68th. Ian Suddersby 69th. Murray 70. Stevens 71. Dillon 72. Gautam Thackart 73. Healy at 74. Vesper 75. Ogle at 76. Caroline Reuter at 77. And Stieglaris 78. And what have we got? Brett Smith at 79. Polo's 80. Totobikul at 81. Frenchman, two Frenchmen there, 80 and 81. Smits at 82nd. Roy Shields 83rd. Serena Race, one of the ladies from RIAC, at 84th. Pastel 85th. Olve, the Portuguese, at 86th. Gilmore 87. Andy 88. MR at 89. Initials are Moon Riders. What do you know? Jay Willis is at 90 for Twickenham. D Bench 91. Juncker 92. Allen 93. Sullivan, we saw that wonderful sprint between Allen and Sullivan earlier, didn't we? 95th for Sanchez. 96. Alanet. Jones at 97 as we approach the 100 mark. Claire Miller for Twickenham at 98th. Delighted to... I actually met Claire. Heard her talking to someone and heard her mention her name and said, excuse me, are you the same Claire Miller that rides on these rides? Charming lady, I have to say. Dave at... great name, of course. Dave at 99th. La at 100th. Wendy Wonderwheels, delightfully there at 101st for New Zealand. And Smile On. She just pipped Daniel Gaunt there, running for West London, ahead of Maria Vitsky riding for West London. Lisa West riding for Twickenham. Jose Espinosa from Puerto Rico as well, just beating Mendes into 106th position there. So we get towards the final few riders, and this has been another exceptionally good race. Van Tol, Lanham, and who we have Linda Van Dyke at 109th. Smith 110th, Judy Frankel for the ladies 111th, Gail Robinson 112th, HB at 113th, EP at 114th, and 115th, Edgar 116th, Kong, Lisa Snell at ML1 at 117, 118 Jessica Wright, who was feeling ill earlier today, 119th Lisa Snell, obviously a bit tired out because she ran a race elsewhere on Monday. Congratulations for that, Lisa. And this has been another absolute cracker. 119 finishers. We're delighted to have had you with us. We've been thrilled and spilled. We look forward to doing it all again in 2 weeks' time with West London VR. Cheers. See you soon.